Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. Room here to run. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 27-yard line.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Back to throw. Tate under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Looking to throw. Tate. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Now, remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen.
We go. 15 line. 15 line.
They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. Darren Lee there to get him down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. They complete it to Hill. He takes it to the 15. A nice display of power. That gives him a nice pickup. It's a gain of 7, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down. Here we go. Set. 70. Indy. Check.
Looking to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Tate. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Darren Lee just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Back to throw here. Rolling to his right. And the pressure gets to him again. Devon Kennard. He's the one that drops him this go-around. And that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll set up to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He gets this one to Johnson. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. So they say we'll let that completed pass stand, and we'll bring up 3rd down instead as they decline it.
So they're comfortable with the yardage. The big thing to them is what you pointed out, getting it to 3rd down and making a play there.
On 3rd down, Tate. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along as they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Tate. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. A dump off now to Hill. Hill's hit, and he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. Almost like it's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Well, it looks like he's going to be stopped short of the first down by about a yard. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
And Mike Tomlin going to roll up the sleeves here and say, let's go for it on 4th. They'll run for it with Hill. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal.
On the double. Pilot, 64, weak. He's not going to get me. Get it.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Romeo Okwara able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They'll look to throw here. And this is caught at the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now.
Let's get it.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it. It's Hill. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. The kick by Lutz is good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first half and he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That one complete to Hill. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
50, plant.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust it.
And he loses the football a second time. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
26.
To throw on second down. Tate, it's Hill, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Tate flushed out right. He finds his man Johnson. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Hey, here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. 47, Mike. 47, Mike. Mike, 47. Go. Go. Set. Hut. Mike's 47. Get your swerve on.
Looking to throw on second down. Tate, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Open man is Hill. He's got it. And, boy, he is very close to a first down. But from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, Look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Open man is Galladay, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Tate, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
Well, that's the down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This is caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Justice Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Ready? 47. Mike's 47. I'm here all day.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 37. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they gave up the pick six. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to pull loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Tate flush to his right. His throw incomplete. Kerryon Johnson, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Marcus Williams. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. They set up the screen to Hill. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a 1st down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a 10th carry for Hill. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Romeo Okwara picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, it's Hill. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Looking to throw. Tate gets this one to Hill. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 1st down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. On 1st down, Tate over the middle, and it's incomplete. Hill, the intended receiver once again, but it'll be 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated, the front and the back.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Dante Fowler in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Cameron Jordan in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for the Saints. 46 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And a penalty flag is down to the backfield as they finally bring him to the turf. But I'm not sure this is going to stand. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Escaping, and a big loss here as he's taken down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Saints on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now back to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've got. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Now here's Hill, and this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Hill to try again, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And now a pass dumped off to his running back. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick-sixes from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick-sixes in a game? You want to leave them out there so they can work through some of the rough stuff.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. but others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
2nd and 9 now. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Saints. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Saints, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's another week to forget as they're going to fall to 1-12 now on the year. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.